All right, we did it, people. We played a relatively complete game and we moved to 5-2. Sea Dragons get it done on the road in Arlington against the Renegades, move to 5-2, and are they have the opportunity to move to second in the division depending on what happens with the Battlehawks. But that was it's not literally a complete game, but I think that is the closest to a complete game that we played this year. And we played some good ones, especially lately, but I saw the solid mix of things that I wanted to see from this team. And I think at the end of the day, this is the inaugural, no, kind of inaugural season of the XFL. You're just not going to see anything particularly amazing. You're going to see stuff that's pretty good. There are still going to be mistakes, but you got to kind of live with that because these teams don't have a lot of familiarity with each other. It's a new league, so it is what it is on that front. And what I got today was that flawed product that was still probably the best all-around product of the year. So 24-15, and honestly, after what happened at the end of the half, I just never really felt threatened in this game. After halftime, even though there was a point where obviously we were only up by 12 points, and at the end of the game, obviously, the Renegades were within a score, there was never really any point where I felt like there was any chance we were going to lose. I just felt good about it. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I never really thought there was any way we were going to lose this game after hitting that long touchdown at the end of the first half. So, really cool stuff. And the team is peaking. The team is peaking right now. If they pick up a couple more wins, I assume they're pretty much a lock for the playoffs. I don't know exactly how it works in the XFL, but I have to believe that with 8 teams in the league, they're probably going to have 4 teams get in. But we'll see how they do it. But either way, I mean, at the end of the day, the important part is we look like we look like one of the best teams in the league right now, and obviously we're a little bit unlucky to be in the same division as the team that is currently the best, the Defenders. But I think that even if there ends up being some kind of playoff system here where only the division winners get to play for the championship, the important part is the Sea Dragons team has looked good. The Sea Dragons team is clearly moving in the right direction. That's more important right now than things like, oh, let's make sure we get to the top of our division when we had the Defenders had a 2-game head start. So the thing to me that characterized this game more than anything was DiNucci played his best game yet. And I say that even though he threw that pretty bad interception in the end zone. And that's just going to be a problem with him, I guess. He just does it every game. He can't go a game without turning it over in the red zone. Every game, it looks like he closes his eyes and lofts it up into the end zone to see what happens. But other than that, I thought he played a great game. I thought he did pretty much everything that I could ever expect an XFL caliber quarterback to do. He used his legs really well. He was our leading rusher, had over 50 yards, converted some third downs with his legs. He had that big run right before the touchdown at the end of the half that helped set that up. He evaded some sacks, although he did get sacked a couple times, which is something he's mostly avoided this year. So I thought DiNucci, other than that one really bad throw, played probably his best overall game of the year. He was hitting the short stuff. He was hitting the stuff down the field. He converted some third and longs. It was just, I felt really good about his game today. Just kind of editing that one interception out of my mind here. And admittedly, you hope he can get better at that. But he's done it so much now, I just kind of expect it to happen at least once a game. But the good news is, if he can get that out of his game, that's going to add probably another 6 to 9 points per game for the Sea Dragons, just through him not doing stuff like that. So we got 3 games left in the regular season. He's got time to figure it out a little bit better. I was really happy to see that Josh Gordon got back in his good graces, making that big touchdown catch. He had a nice play on the final drive to help pack the game away. Ooh, excuse me. That's going to be important. That's going to be important because Josh Gordon, he's one of the guys on this team that is probably a little too good for this league, and we need to find ways to utilize him because that's a big advantage that we have. Every team in this league probably has a few guys that are a little too good for the XFL. They're just not good enough for the NFL. And for us, Josh Gordon is one of those guys. So got to figure out a way to fully unlock that, and today was a step in the right direction. I also really like Hammond. Really like what Hammond did as a running back. Looked a little bit like a Percy Harvin almost out of the backfield. Very dynamic, very fun. I thought he had a very effective game. And we now have quite a few running backs who I have a pretty decent amount of trust in right now. Obviously, you had Knox from the first couple of games. He was good. And then over the last few games, it's been, I can't remember, blanking on his name, but he was effective. And now you have Hammond. And to me, it's a nice mix of different styles of running. And I feel like whoever it is, we have a chance to be productive on the ground. Not that we run the ball that much, but those guys are definitely good enough for the little bit that we do run the ball. So offensively, things are coming together. Defensively, it definitely wasn't, when I say a complete game, I speak more about the end result of it, right? Because we gave up 15 points. 6 of those points were on that last gasp drive, where, obviously we're still trying to stop them, but there's definitely, I think, an understanding that, hey, they're down 2 scores, there's 5 minutes left, there's going to be desperation there, they're going to be pushing the ball down the field more aggressively, and letting them score is not the worst thing in the world as long as you force them to use time, which we did. So the end result was quite good. We made a play in the secondary. We had an interception that really helped flip this game, that took points off the board for the Renegades and put points on the board for the Sea Dragons. QB pressure took a little bit of a step back probably from the last few weeks, but not anything I'm overly concerned about right now. And I think that the main thing that held us back in this game was the tackling. I think our tackling was pretty lackluster, a lot of missed tackles. They ran the ball pretty well on us in this game, honestly. They had a lot of success there. There were a lot of, second effort yards. There were a lot of second effort first downs, a lot of big plays made because somebody missed a tackle. Seems like our tackling is not as good as these other teams, because the Renegades tonight I thought tackled really well. So it's not just an XFL thing. It is definitely a team, how should I put this, a team-specific thing. So hopefully we can get better at that, but nothing got out of hand, right? Like, we were able to force that field goal early. We were able to get off the field with a turnover. We were able to it was definitely one of those bend, don't break games on defense. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Not dominant like it's been in some games, like against the Roughnecks. But we were definitely trending in the right direction compared to, I'd say, the first couple of games. So, I can live with that. The Renegades obviously don't have a very good offense, though, so I don't know how much you prove with that. But overall, good enough. Came up with... Renegades helped a couple times, right? They had 2 different quarterbacks playing this game, and there were just a couple throws where they were just way off. There was that 4th and 2 in the red zone where he had his guy, and we were letting them get open in the secondary a little bit, and they dropped a few passes, but so did we. So overall, just a good game, and Eberle continues to make his kicks. He nailed another 3 tonight. So it's a pretty good all-around team, man, and I'm happy. They've come a long way. I'm not seeing a ton of penalties anymore the way I was in the early part of the season, and I'm believing that we can potentially beat anybody at this point. All right, see you guys later. Go Sea Dragons.